Hi there. I wanted to reassure you that I have neither died nor fallen off the face of the earth. I know I've been absent for quite some time, and I apologize for that. Uh, I also know that I've promised you some resources, and I've been a little slow in getting them together. I apologize for that too. Apologies are done. I'm like most of you, like probably all of you. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. Uh, Sometimes what I've got is blocked, uh, and I just have to work through that. Uh, Now, yes, I've also been informed of a number of things that I'm trying to improve as far as these videos are concerned. The first one is that, excuse me, I shouldn't do that, of course. uh, the first one is that I'm my lighting was bad in I think the previous video. Uh, as you can see, the lighting is improved in this one. It might not be perfect, but hey, you know, perfection is one of those things we strive for rather than something that we usually attain. Never beat yourself up for not being perfect. Beat yourself up for not doing, but when when you've decided to put things in motion to make something happen, but and don't beat yourself too hard about that, because you'll discourage yourself from actually getting things on the road. And that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video at this point. For the one of the things that I was struggling with, and I'm maybe not completely over it, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Is that I would sit down to work on marketing, or sit down to work on making another video, or sit down to work on the books that I have in the works. And I would find myself doing something else entirely and say, wait a minute. I'd look at my watch, and, you know, a lot of time would have gone by. And you know, as far as you can tell, nothing substantial really has been accomplished. And I said, well, you know, I have to get to the bottom of this. It's an obstruction that it's gone on long enough. It's something I have to deal with. I have to work out this taking action thing, because otherwise nothing's going to happen. And I said, well, why am I not taking action? Okay. Partly, and maybe the root of the problem, is that I get all these calls on my cell phone. People want to sell me this. They want to interest me in that. And it's like, wait a minute. Once in a while, I'll talk to them, but it's basically most of that time responding to those ads or offers or whatever they are, sometimes just information even, it's basically a waste of time. And, you know, people are trying to sell you things every time you turn around. It doesn't matter if it's on the phone, on your computer, radio, television, billboards, newspapers, magazines. They're loaded with ads, okay? We live in a very commercial society. And part of me said, look, I find this stuff annoying. I don't want to do this to other people. I just, no, I'm not there. And I had a chat with my accountability partner, and, well, yeah, we've become friends. And she lives out on a mountain in California, sort of more or less off the radar, and likes it that way. She's dealing with a bunch of things in her life, actually getting over a number of things in her life, and she hasn't had an easy life. So I can understand her desire for a certain amount of solitude. but she's also psychic. And we had a chat about this. And she said, look, the only real test of whether or not people are interested in what you have to say is whether or not they respond to it. As far as YouTube videos are concerned, it's, do they subscribe? Do they leave a comment? As far as products are concerned, do they at least click on the learn more and look for more information? As far as what I have to tell them about products, services, since I'm an astrologer, the astral weather, so to speak. And the astral weather has been kind of mixed, kind of a mixed bag, which I'm sure all of you have noticed, and I certainly have. And she said, look, what you have is of value. There are people out there who want it. The ones who don't, they'll look somewhere else. They'll turn you off. I mean, that's what you do with all those ads that you don't want to respond to, or that or don't really even want to listen to. I mean, they'll start giving me a pitch or introducing whatever it is they're doing on my cell phone, and I'll just sort of close it up. I'm done. And then I'll bring my cell phone back up and I'll delete the number. I'm not calling them back. I'm not interested. I have plenty else to keep me busy, and I have plenty else to distract me. And if you feel this way about my information, you'll do the same thing to me. And hey, I accept that. It's not a problem. No, I want you to do the same thing to me if what I have to offer you is not something that you're interested in, or not something that you find of any value to you. I want you to be firm about your boundaries. I'm trying to be firmer about my boundaries. I want you to succeed. I want you to be all you can be. I want to be all I can be. I want to succeed. I mean, as I told you several videos earlier, we're doing this together. Hopefully, as I progress, I can be a positive example to you, and hopefully, as I get insights, you'll find some of them useful to you. And I'm hoping, at least for those of you that subscribe or that sign up for my my autoresponder emails, and those you'll only get those if you actually sign up for something, like, you know, decide that you want to try a product that that I've recommended, that I'm trying to market, or if you want to get my resource lists once I get them up, and they will include things that are freebies. In fact, I'm working on a freebie right now that I'm almost done with. And I know you've heard this before. And you won't believe it until you actually see it somewhere. And that's good. That's good. Be skeptical. And I mean, my track record for this isn't great yet. I hope to make it great, but I haven't yet. I admit that. Hey, I mean, my channel is about, you know, making it real. And I'm trying to be as real with you as I possibly can. So the thing is, you have to be firm about your boundaries, and you have to be clear about how you're going to spend your time. And when you run into an obstruction, you have to ask yourself, why? Why do I procrastinate on this? Or why do I just, you know, get completely distracted from it? What's going on? When you hit these rough spots, these speed bumps on your road to success, on your road to being all you can be, you need to ask yourself why. What's the source of this thing, and what can I do about it? I mean, even more important, well, if you don't understand the source, then you're not going to have much of a clue as to what you can do about it, and it's just going to keep happening. So you have to ask yourself, where's this coming from? And for me, with this issue of marketing, making YouTube videos, even sitting down and, you know, trying to work on the books and articles that I'm working on, what it boiled down to was, you know, I find this stuff annoying when, when I'm on the receiving end. Although every once in a while I run into something that I listen to them long enough and I discover that it's something that has value for me. I'm hoping that, and well, I know that those of you who keep coming back believe that there's some value in what I'm trying to tell you, or what I'm trying to share with you, trying to offer you. Products, services, insights, information, and a lot of the information relates to astrology. I just finished, I'm right on the edge of being finished with the draft on the invisible governors. That's the 3 planets discovered since the invention of the telescope, which occurred in 1609. I've discovered that both modern and traditional astrologers, they seem to have trouble using these planets. Why? Well, I think that it's because they don't understand the principles that these planets represent. They don't follow it all the way back down to the root. In my presentation, I try to do that. I try to talk about, I do talk about the natures of these planets, the principles that they represent, and their dignities. Now, if you're going to use planets in a traditional manner, you have to know something about their dignities. Now, one of the big objections of traditional astrologers is they say that the dignities, the places where these planets are strong, don't integrate with the visible planets. With the modern planets, modern invisible planets do not integrate with the traditional visible planets. This is not entirely true. And I'm going to try not to get too involved in this. Now, the invisible planets have a set of dignities of their own. Since they operate on a different scale of things and in a little bit different way than the visible planets, their system of dignities, or where they're strong, where they're weak, is a separate system from the traditional dignity system. They do not and cannot infringe on that system. An invisible planet does not replace a visible planet as a sign ruler. That doesn't work. That doesn't work in terms of the traditional scheme of things, and it doesn't really work for the modern scheme of things either. I explain this in my short book. Well, maybe it's an article. We'll see how it turns out. Anyway, I'll have that up in PDF format in the not too distant future. And I will start making these videos regularly in the very near future. My goal, my aim is 1 a week. And another another comment that I had was that they never knew when my videos were going to come out. Are they going to come out once a week, every other week? Are they going to come out Monday, Sunday, Friday, what? Okay, so right now it's Friday night. My aim will be to make 1 a week, either on Wednesday or Friday. There will be some weeks in which a lot happens, or I get, there's a lot of information that I need to give you, in which you'll get them both Wednesday and Friday. Now, time of day, well, that's a little trickier for me right now. Usually it will be in the evening, for a lot of times at night. But once in a while, if I get an inspiration, and it happens to be in the morning hours, that's when I'll make it. But look for them either on Wednesday or Friday, once a week. Scheduling is important in many things and in many ways. And so that's going to be my schedule for making these videos. And as you can see, I've mostly resolved the lighting problem, and hopefully I have been reasonably coherent and focused in my presentation here. Mostly it was about what's been going on and some strategies as to how to deal with how to deal with having mysterious obstructions. Anyway, that's it for right now. That's what I have in the works, and that's my plan. The proof is in the pudding, so, you know, as you see me manage to do these things, you'll know whether or not to count on it, to count on me. And, well, you know, frankly, in the recent period of time, I haven't been able to count on myself for everything. So, again, apologies for disappearing for an extended period of time. I think I was gone for about a month. And I'm, you know, working on correcting and improving things. As you can see, the lighting is better this time. I'm looking at the camera. And I'm trying to have as few pauses as possible. I hope you find it useful in understanding what you personally are going through in this period of time, in that it's important to get to the bottom of what's causing the obstruction, and it's important to be firm about your boundaries, because everybody and his brother will be trying to step into your personal space and recruit you or sell you or convince you. Turn them all off. Even, you know, I mean, that sometimes even includes me. You know, that may even include me at times. I try not to be a recruiter. My main aim is to help you develop right along with me. Obviously, I have a ways to go. I hope that some of you are ahead of me, and I hope that all of you find some value in my insights and the information that I offer, and that you will keep coming back. So, regular videos. Get rid of the obstructions to taking action and being firm about your boundaries. And I have two, I'll just call them documents for the moment. They may end up being books. They may end up being moderate to brief articles. One of them is The Invisible Governors. That's the planets discovered since the invention of the telescope in 1609. And the other one, I had some requests. I had a couple of requests from people to teach them how to do tarot. And so I'm also preparing one of these documents on on my approach to reading tarot. And I'll tell you, some of you may not care for it because it is a lot more structured than many of the things I'm seeing out there. But hey, it works rather well. So I'm going to share it. Okay, until next time, which will probably be Wednesday. Maybe Friday, but probably Wednesday. Tonight is Friday. Hey, Venus Day. Good day. You have a nice one. And I'll see you soon.